Well, you see me make many things with the dry pour method, but so many of you have been asking me, can you make a concrete countertop with the dry pour method? Let's find out, shall we? Alright, many of you have been asking for this video. Can you pour a concrete countertop with the dry pour method? So here it is. Now, I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of dialogue. We're just going to get right into it. But real quick, what I've got so far is a melamine box that is 40 inches by 20 inches. It is 2 inches deep, and I've gone around and sealed all the corners with 100% silicone. And just to take things one step further, I've added a design to the center, because if by some miracle this does work out, I have to know how a design will turn out. So let's get into it. Now, I was contemplating on spraying the mold down with WD-40, but not this time. Maybe next time. I want to see how this turns out first without the WD-40 as a mold release. By the way, I'm using Rapid Set's Portland base. They're a 24/6 for this dry pour today. Now that I got this filled up about halfway, now it's time to add our metal remesh, or our metal reinforcement. Nothing too special about this stuff. I did cut this 1 inch smaller all the way around though. Now I'm just gonna add in the rest. Alright, now the only thing left to do, give it a little screed. Alright, now before I do a final screeding, I'm going to tap around the sides to see if I can consolidate any air pockets. Just like you normally would with a regular concrete countertop pour. I gotta imagine that this is going to help consolidate or get rid of any air, like large air pockets that we got. Especially around my design area. Oh yeah, I can already tell that this is helping. I can actually see that the level has gone down like almost 1/8 of an inch already, just by consolidating the air pockets. All right, one final finish screed, and then we can move on to wetting this thing down. All right, that is good enough for what we want to do with this. So now, let's just spray the surface down real nice and easy. Ooh, too tough. Alright, now just like with a typical dry pour that we've been doing these days, I'm going to let this sit for about 1 hour. I'm going to give it one more light misting. then we'll go from there, because this is uncharted territory, guys. I have no idea what to do from here, really. So we'll see. Alright, so far I have misted it twice, once every hour, to get that top crust going on. So now we can go ahead and flood it. But here's where things get a little gray. Get it? Gray. Concrete. Gray. Anyway, usually I would flood it 3 times once every hour. It's just that usually I'm working with something that's 4 inches thick and has soil underneath it to soak up whatever moisture gets down to the bottom. Now I'm only working with something that's 2 inches thick, and it's going to hold 100% of the moisture. So I think that I'm only going to flood it once. I'm pretty sure that's going to get us what we need. Also, I feel like if the water just goes ahead and stays on top, that will be very telling as well. So let's see what happens. I'm hearing a lot of soaking up going on right now. I'm also seeing this very large air pocket in the center here, which is very scary. All right, looks like it's soaked it up a bit. I'm gonna give it one more soak, and then I'm gonna leave it for the night. All right, now I feel like I need to let this cook for a minimum of 1 week, possibly even 2. After 1 week, I'm gonna check it, see what I think, and go from there. So I'll see you in a week or 2. But while this is cooking, I wanted to introduce you to a friend of mine real quick. Come here. Her name is Jessie Gomez, and she has a phenomenal Instagram that you've got to check out. And her company name is Knock on Wood, which I absolutely love, by the way. But she owns her own custom woodworking company. And not only does she do her own designing and her own work, but what I found absolutely amazing is she did not go to school for design or woodwork. She's completely self-taught. Her designs are absolutely phenomenal. The work she does is fantastic. So please, don't subscribe to my channel today. Go on Instagram and subscribe to hers. Link down below. All right, fast forward exactly 1 week later, and I can't wait anymore, so I've got to do this. I probably should wait another week, but let's not. I think we're ready to go. Let's just get this over with. Oh my God, it's heavy. Oh, I can already feel that it wants to come out. I'm not ready yet. Hold on. All right, here we go. It's gonna slip. I brought a sledgehammer, but I don't think we're gonna need it. So far, so good. A little crumbly. A lot crumbly. Oh, so much crumbly. Oh. Oh! I can see the design a little bit though. Wait for it. Wait for it. Don't count this out just yet. Calm down. Calm down. Oh. Damn! What? Honestly, I don't care what. I don't care what you're seeing right here. This is not too shabby. Not too shabby. You want to see it? Come here, come check this out. Not too bad. Everything else was shit. But this is the only thing that I really wanted to turn out, honestly. So obviously we had a failure, okay? But we didn't have an epic fail. I mean, you can definitely argue that it's an epic failure. But still, this is not an epic failure. I think what this is telling me is that I did not water this anywhere near enough. But what I found funny is that it's mainly this side, where this side, completely solid. In fact, you can see the difference. There's a very distinct line between the solid surface and the surface that's still very chalky and very dry. And yes, I have corners that are crumbling, but on the other hand, these corners completely solid. Like look at this edge. That's really smooth and it's strong. This to me, this is evidence that this can actually work. This is plausible. The surface, rock solid, not flaky, and it's got this great natural pattern to it too that I'm kind of obsessed with. In fact, I want to see if this will hold its own weight. Not bad, not bad. I don't think I'm gonna stand on it or sit on it or anything like that, but this is pretty telling, and I find it very intriguing. I want to give this another try. In fact, I'm going to make another video, like a part 2, where I'm going to water the shit out of it this time and maybe give it 2 weeks. But this design, oh my god, I want to talk about this design. This design came out almost perfect. It really did. It came out way better than I thought it was going to. But I want to talk a little bit more about why I chose this design. So Weaver Barnes, in fact, Matt Weaver, if you don't know, Matt Weaver is one of the original patrons of this channel, for sure, hands down. But if you don't know the story behind Weaver Barnes and that shed, you've got to check it. I'm going to leave a description to that video down below and right here for you to watch after you're done with this video. Absolutely, hands down, my favorite video that I've ever made. Matt Weaver gifted us that awesome shed to the channel just because he was a fan. I'm not kidding. But guys, spring is officially here today, so if you don't have that amazing workspace all to yourself, please check out weaverbarnes.com and order yourself one of these awesome sheds. They will either have a shed pre-built for you and drive it right out to your property and plop it right down wherever you want it, or they can build you a shed in one day. One day they will build you a shed. But I can't begin to tell you how much I love this shed. And I have so much pride every single day when I walk into that thing. It's my space, it inspires me, so please, at least look them up and get yourselves one of these sheds. I think this definitely deserves some more research, definitely deserves another try, and I think we're gonna get some really good results in the next one. I really do. I really honestly do. So no, I do not think that dry pour has a place in concrete countertops yet. But I'm gonna figure it out. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one, where we try this again.